Hello, this is Birdman316 here. I'm sure you know what this is. MJX X708 Cyclone. You probably wonder, well, what's it doing here in pieces? There's all these screws laying around. What's up with that motor? What's going on here? What's it doing laying there in pieces? Well, let me show you something. Now we are facing the front of it. This here is actually the left rear. That motor has always made some kind of clicking sound. I wasn't sure if it was in the gears. But I took the motor loose from the gears and the motor itself. Something inside, maybe there's a defective brush or something. Something's clicking inside the motor. It's not supposed to do that. This motor here now has, I'm turning the motor, you can hear it. Well, you can't hear it, that's what you want. You don't want to hear no clickety click, 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 click. Let's see if I can get this one to do it. Well, it won't do it. Well, I have the gear off of it. I have the gear off that motor on that motor. This motor here came from an X5, the older X5C, not the newest ones, but the older version. And it does fit down in here. You see how the wires are ran through this little, the gearbox thing and everything. The motor sits down there and the little pinion gear comes out right there and it mates up to the spur gear, and that's what turns the prop shaft. It's a simple solder job right there. You can see the black and white wire right there where the phone is. All I gotta do is unsolder that wire, de-thread this old motor through that little sleeve there, and then put the new motor in, thread it through the sleeve and solder it up, put it together, and as J-Drum says, BAM! Of course, before I put the body on, I will do a spool up test to make sure everything works before I go putting these 10,000 screws back in this quad. Now, the reason I have these separated, these are separated. There's two screws that goes in this section here, two on each leg or arm. Those are the short screws. In case anyone has an MJX 708 or even the what's that other one? Oh, I forgot the name. It's a black and white one. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But anyways, it's just about like this one, but it's black and white. These longer screws go everywhere else. They go everywhere else. But these shorty screws, they go in the actual arms or cells towards the ends. You could probably tell, well, you can't really tell, but I will lift this up and over like this and get it where you can see it. Those shorter screws, they go right there. And everything else, long screws and everywhere except for here. Let me get focused. There we go. Shorter screws go in the arms, but the long screws go everywhere else. Let me get this back in position here. I'm getting ready to get my soldering kit out. And I'm going to fix this because that motor was getting warmer. It was getting really warm. And the other three were just barely getting warm, but that in there was getting pretty warm. You can feel it through the plastic. So I didn't want to just keep on flying it, and have that motor suddenly go out. And we all know how well these things fly on 3 motors. Yeah, right. Okay, but anyway, let me get this all soldered up and everything, and I'll come back and we will do a test together. I'll let my YouTube family join me on this test when we fire the motors and make sure she works. So we will cut it short right now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Sayonara. You thought I forgot, didn't you? Okay, be right back. Here we are. Birdman316 again after the motor transplant. Let me get the phone in this hand here, and you notice that that motor's spinning the correct way. There we go. Yep, sure is. Now what I'm doing now is doing a very low idle. That battery there is about half charged. I'm going to let that battery run while they idle, and that'll run in those brushes on that left rear motor because it's a brand new motor. And after this battery will sit here idling, it should be good for gentle flying. Can't fly it today because nasty outside, rainy. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm sure it's making a lot of noise and you probably can't hear me too much, but I will resume after the rest of this video here. But everything's successful, everything's hooked up correctly. I didn't burn the house down with a soldering iron, all that good stuff. So the motor transplant was a success. And like I said, the motor came from an early version of the SEMA X5C. So I think it's a 6mm, I think. I'm not sure. I think the later X5Cs, like the SCs and the SWs and all that stuff, I think they went 7mm after that. But these, I think these are the 6mm. I'm not positive. So if anyone out there knows for sure, they can correct me or redirect me as to being right. But anyway, guys and gals, this has been an MJX X708 Cyclone motor transplant and test video. This is the same bird that I flew with the VTX on the roof. I put out a couple videos, one during the day which the VTX was acting up because it was not on the correct channel, and then later I did another video at night of the same bird, same VTX, but I had corrected the problem before dark. I just wanted to go out there and fly at night because it looked really, really good with the light shining off the front end. Looked like a shiny car hood with a fresh coat of wax or something. But anyway, I'm going to resume the moto break-in after this video. This is Birdman316. Everyone have a wonderful time wherever you are on this world. Sayonara.